There's a peculiar magic in live music. The raw electricity of a performer, the intoxicating bond between artist and audience, and the beautiful unpredictability of every note. Yet sometimes that magic slips away, plunging stars into unforgettable fiascos. Today, we journey through 30 of the most cringe-inducing, jaw-dropping live performances ever witnessed, moments when ambition catastrophically collided with reality. Buckle up. Some of these tales will make you wince, others will leave you speechless, but every one is pure, unfiltered embarrassment. Let's begin at number 30, where rock royalty took a detour into absurdity. In 1972, Chuck Berry invited John Lennon onto the Mike Douglas Show for a duet that promised rock and roll fireworks. Instead, Douglas handed the microphone to Yoko Ono. As Berry and Lennon traded iconic riffs, Ono unleashed primal screams that sounded more suited to avant-garde art installations than late-night TV. The studio audience convulsed with discomfort, and producers swiftly cut her microphone. Chuck Berry's expression, equal parts confusion and despair, said it all. It wasn't just odd, it was perhaps the strangest backing vocal meltdown in music history. 29. Christina Aguilera faced the ultimate performance pressure, the Super Bowl 45 national anthem in 2011. She opened with commanding power, but as the crowd held its breath, she blanked on the lyrics, rearranging them into an awkward jumble that ricocheted across millions of TV screens. "What's so proudly we" became a viral punchline. In the aftermath, Aguilera issued a heartfelt apology, acknowledging that even the greatest voices can falter under a stadium's glare. Yet the memory lingered, a potent reminder that the anthem's weight is a double-edged sword. Number 28 returns us to New York 2004 for Hilary Duff's MTV New Year's Eve performance. Lip-syncing is an open secret in pop music, but when Duff's backing track glitched, the illusion shattered spectacularly. Her vocals warped into robotic distortion, leaving her mouthing perfect words over a warped track. The more she tried to emote, the more obvious the deception. By midnight, the damage was done. What should have been a festive celebration became a cautionary tale about over-reliance on technology. 27. Katy Perry stepped onto the stage at the 2023 coronation concert for King Charles III. Intent on honoring her hosts, she launched into Firework, a power anthem celebrating American independence. The lyrics about breaking free from tyranny landed like a lead balloon in the shadow of Buckingham Palace. Social media erupted. Was it an intentional provocation or an epic oversight? Compounding the faux pas, Perry grappled with her own high notes, transforming a moment of royal pomp into an awkward, culture-clashing spectacle. Earning 26 is Oasis at Wembley Stadium in 2000. Their first night, immortalized on Familiar to Millions, soared with raw swagger. But a day later, lead singer Liam Gallagher arrived dazzlingly inebriated. His trademark scowl devolved into slurred syllables, missed cues, and forgotten lyrics. Anthems like Wonderwall crumbled under his staggering presence. The tapes were deemed unusable, a scar on the band's live legacy, and a sobering example of how self-indulgence can derail even the greatest show. 25 belongs to Greta Van Fleet. The young rockers cheered for reviving 70s magic. In 2019, they stormed the Saturday Night Live stage under crushing expectations. Instead of soulful swagger, we witnessed tremulous nerves. Josh Kiska's vocals wavered, stage presence froze, and the performance felt more parody than prophecy. Critics pounced, likening it to a sketch rather than a genuine rock anthem. In chasing Led Zeppelin's mantle, Greta Van Fleet stumbled through the harshest of spotlights. 24. Poison arrived at the 8th MTV Video Music Awards reeking of 80s bravado, and perhaps one too many backstage cocktails. Guitarist CeCe DeVille, already tipsy, launched into the wrong song Talk Dirty to Me instead of Unskinny Bop, before inadvertently yanking out his guitar cable. The final indignity, a scuffle with frontman Bret Michaels mid-performance. DeVille's dismissal soon followed, marking an abrupt end to Poison's classic lineup and proving that hard rock excess has a perilous edge. Number 23 highlights Guns N' Roses at San Francisco's Warfield Theater in 2006. 2 hours late, Axl Rose moseyed on stage, then paused the show to unleash a tirade at a complaining fan. hurling his in-ear monitors and demanding the heckler's ejection. What should have been a triumphant homecoming instead became yet another headline in Rose's notorious legacy of volatility. The fan was gone, the pissy mood remained, and the audience left wondering if rock stardom was truly worth the drama. Woodstock '99 sits at 22, where Limp Bizkit famously turned peace and love into powder keg rage. As Fred Durst roared, "Break stuff!" the crowd obeyed with terrifying literalness. Barriers tumbled, fires flared, and the festival dissolved into chaos. Durst even crowd-surfed atop a piece of barricade. Despite later protests of innocence, the video evidence is damning. This was a harrowing demonstration that incitement is never just a rock performance gimmick, it carries real-world consequences. The Super Bowl 45 halftime show saw another train wreck at 21, the Black Eyed Peas and Slash. Fergie's tentative crooning of Sweet Child O' Mine clashed with an off-kilter drum track, while Slash's legendary riff thundered out of sync. The result? A karaoke bar calamity on sport's grandest stage. Halftime glory turned into an instant worst-ever accolade, reminding us that even blockbuster collaborations can spectacularly misfire. Number 20 takes us back to 1978. Johnny Rotten and the Sex Pistols at San Francisco's Winterland Ballroom. What began as punk's righteous uproar devolved into gallows humor. Rotten announced only one encore, a cover of the Stooges' No Fun. His derisive performance, taut with bitterness, played more like a statement of contempt than a fan tribute. He sneered through every line, stormed off, and effectively ended the original Sex Pistols. It was punk at its most nihilistic and uncannily prophetic. 19 We find 50 Cent at the 2007 BET Awards. The rapper launched his set confidently, then abruptly abandoned the first verse to mingle with the crowd. A full minute of dead air followed as cameras cut to puzzled faces. Blaming an aerialist bump, 50 Cent shrugged off the silence, but viewers cringed through the awkward void. Stands as a testament that sometimes spontaneity can silence even the loudest star. 18 belongs to the Pussycat Dolls at the 2006 American Music Awards. Their sultry routines promised slick choreography, but the evenings spiraled into spectacle. As Nicole Scherzinger began Buttons, fellow member Melody Thornton was conspicuously absent, only to dash on stage midway, unleashing her own powerhouse runs. What should have been a unified showcase morphed into an on-stage tug-of-war, exposing fissures in their polished facade. Madonna's high-profile flop lands at 17 during the 64th Eurovision Song Contest. No stranger to controversy, she took to the stage with political iconography flashing behind her and delivered an off-key rendition of Like a Prayer. In panic, her team uploaded an auto-tuned version on YouTube, promptly debunked when raw audio emerged. Even pop royalty can't rewrite live history once the moment's gone. 16 recalls Lana Del Rey's 2012 SNL debut. Her hazy, cinematic style thrives in studios, but live television proved unforgiving. Video games and blue jeans emerged as disjointed affairs, vocals wavering, phrasing uncertain. Critics pounced, dubbing her SNL outing one of its roughest musical performances. Visiting the live realm, Lana learned that intimacy and authenticity don't always translate to a national audience. Green Day's meltdown at the 2012 iHeartRadio Festival scorches in at 15. Midway through American Idiot, frontman Billy Joe Armstrong snapped, convinced the band was about to be cut off. He launched into a profanity-laden tirade, slammed his guitar, and strode off stage. The spectacle prompted an apology and Armstrong's rehab announcement. It was a stark demonstration that even punk's fiercest rebels can snap under corporate constraints. 14 Britney Spears' 2007 MTV Video Music Awards appearance felt eerily hollow. Amid personal turmoil, she half-heartedly lip-synced "Gimme More," her movements mechanical, her energy drained. Critics and fans alike recoiled as the once iconic performer seemed to drift through her own show. Performance crystallized public concern for her well-being and underscored how personal struggles can overshadow the most glittering stage. Number 13 returns to Oasis, this time at Whiskey A Go Go in 1996. A pre-show binge left Liam Gallagher crossfade, mocking the crowd and even bonking his brother Noel with a tambourine. The feud erupted, Noel walked off, and the brothers nearly called it quits. That night's chaos laid bare that familial discord can be as volatile as any stage dive. 12 spotlights Roseanne Barr at Jack Murphy Stadium in 1990. Tasked with the national anthem, she shrieked each line and punctuated the finale with an obscene crotch grab. The backlash was global, with President George H.W. Bush decrying it as disgraceful. She intended satire. Instead, she turned a beloved ritual into a spectacle of disrespect. The 11th slot goes to Kanye West's 2008 Saturday Night Live performance of Love Lockdown. Eager to replicate his auto-tune-laden studio anthem live, he strapped on a vocoder and stepped into chaos. The effect was intermittent. Some notes emerged as ghostly autotune, others vanished entirely, replaced by a disembodied female voice. What was meant to be a futuristic triumph descended into technical incoherence. 10. Caroline Marcel's 2005 Quebec Coliseum anthem embodies every singer's nightmare. She forgot the lyrics, restarting twice to the crowd's jeers, then slipped on the ice, exiting in shame. The irony? Her voice was flawless. It was mere forgetfulness that undid her. Preparation, it seems, is just as vital as talent. Number 9 brings us back to Saturday Night Live, where Kesha's 2010 debut went full sensory overload. Glow-in-the-dark paint, dancing astronauts, and pulsing strobes. Her visual feast upstaged any vocal focus. By the time she tried to sing, the spectacle had flattened her voice under its weight. Fans remember the astronauts more than the melody, a cautionary tale about letting effects eclipse artistry. 8. Metallica and Guns N' Roses co-headlined Olympic Stadium in 1992, and the result was catastrophic. Metallica cut their set short after James Hetfield was burned by pyrotechnics. Guns N' Roses kept fans waiting 2 hours, then fizzled after 9 songs amid technical woes. Axl Rose's incendiary comment about quitting sparked a riot, leaving over $600,000 in damage. What should have been rock's ultimate double bill ended in pandemonium. 7 belongs to Mariah Carey at Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve 2016. Known for her crystalline voice, Carey's ear monitor malfunctioned, prompting her to pause mid-song and let the audience sing. She dipped in and out, visibly frustrated, before conceding defeat on We Belong Together. Carey blamed sabotage. Hosts denied it. Either way, viewers lost the celebration they'd tuned in for. 6. Milli Vanilli's Lake Compounds performance in 1989 revealed the ultimate deception. As the track sputtered, the duo's lip-syncing was brutally exposed. Subsequent revelations that they'd never sung on their record sent shockwaves. Their Grammy was revoked and their career imploded. It remains the darkest scandal in pop's history, a permanent stain on the artifice of performance. Number 5. Creed in Illinois 2002. Scott Stapp, battling alcoholism and painkillers after a car accident, staggered on stage slurring lyrics until the band stopped mid-set. Furious fans demanded refunds and even sued. Though dismissed, the incident tarnished Creed's reputation and forced a public apology. The Red Hot Chili Peppers' 2000 SNL appearance races in at 4. Guitarist John Frusciante, wrestling addiction, apparently sabotaged the performance, playing off-key and off-beat. His erratic chords threw off Anthony Kiedis and Flea, turning the set into a discordant spectacle. It exposed the raw tensions simmering beneath the band's funky facade. 3 takes us once more to the hardwood, where Fergie's 2018 NBA All-Star Anthem venture still haunts highlight reels. Known for sultry style, she recast the Star-Spangled Banner as a jazzy dirge, complete with ill-conceived vocal runs and tempo shifts. The players on court exchanged bewildered looks, viewers at home recoiled. Critics piled on, even Roseanne Barr quipping she'd done a better job decades earlier. 2. Ashlee Simpson's SNL disaster in 2004 offers a masterclass in live performance catastrophe. After a flawless first number, the intro to her second song triggered the wrong vocal track. The band gamely played along, while Simpson, realizing the mismatch, froze, stuttered through awkward dance moves, and sprinted off stage. Though she later cited a legitimate health glitch, the world had already witnessed her meltdown, an indelible moment of televised panic. And finally, number 1, Led Zeppelin's 1985 Live Aid reunion. Fans clamored for their return, but the day of the show found John Bonham replaced, Jimmy Page wrestling with an out-of-tune guitar, Phil Collins struggling to follow Zeppelin's complex rhythms, and Robert Plant's voice weathered by time. Sound issues plunged the set into confusion. Page later called their 10-minute slot an atrocity. For one of rock's greatest bands, the moment meant to vindicate their legacy instead laid it bare. From bungled anthems to raging riots, these 30 performances remind us that live music is a high-stakes gamble. For every transcendent second, there's a chance for utter collapse. What's the worst onstage disaster you've ever witnessed, live or on video? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think.